What if the secret to happiness and fulfillment lies not in pursuing more, but in enjoying less? Are you tired of the constant pressure to strive for more? More money, more fame, more adventure? This question goes against the grain of the hustle and bustle of modern life. We're living in an age of abundance, yet we're more stressed and less satisfied than ever. Our society is like a treadmill, constantly accelerating, pushing us to keep up. We chase after success, believing that with more money, more power, or more recognition, we will finally be happy. But what happens when we reach these goals? Do we bask in the glow of fulfillment, or do we simply set new, higher targets, continuing the cycle of relentless pursuit? The irony is, in our quest for more, we often overlook the value of what we already have. We fail to appreciate the beauty of simplicity, the joy in the mundane, the satisfaction derived from contentment. We're so focused on the horizon, we forget to enjoy the journey. But what if there's a different way? What if instead of constantly striving for more, we learn to want less? This is where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism comes in. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our responses, and to let go of what we can't. It encourages us to find fulfillment not in material possessions or external accolades, but in our internal virtues and character. Stoicism isn't about denying our desires or suppressing our emotions. It's about understanding them, managing them, and ultimately directing them towards a more meaningful and satisfying life. It's about learning to enjoy the simple and the ordinary, and finding happiness in the here and now. So perhaps we've been asking the wrong question all along. Instead of asking how we can get more, maybe we should be asking how we can want less. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, might just have the answers we're looking for. Stoicism, hailing from the intellectual halls of ancient Greece and Rome, is a philosophy that's as relevant today as it was over 2,000 years ago. It's a philosophy that encourages resilience, peace, and fulfillment, not through the pursuit of external pleasures, but through the cultivation of inner strength. And the key to unlocking this strength? 3 fundamental principles. The first principle is understanding what we can and cannot control. Imagine your life as a vast ocean. Some things, like the waves, the wind, and the weather, are beyond your control. You can't stop the storm, but you can learn to sail your ship. That's the essence of this principle. It's about recognizing that our power lies not in changing the world around us, but in changing how we interact with it. We can't control others' actions, the past, or the future, but we can control our own actions, our reactions, and our attitudes. By focusing on these, we can navigate life's ocean with grace and skill, no matter how stormy the weather. The second principle is about focusing on the present moment. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of past regrets and future anxieties. But Stoicism reminds us that the present moment is the only one we truly have. It's the only moment we can act, the only moment we can live. So why not make the most of it? By anchoring ourselves in the here and now, we can experience life more fully, more authentically. We can savor the simple joys, the quiet moments, the fleeting beauty of existence. And in doing so, we can find a sense of peace that's not dependent on external circumstances, but rooted in our own mindful awareness. The third principle is about embracing whatever life throws at us. In the Stoic view, life is a bit like a game of catch. Sometimes it throws us a ball, sometimes a curveball, and sometimes it throws us something entirely unexpected. But instead of fearing these throws, Stoicism encourages us to embrace them, to see them not as problems, but as opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to learn, to adapt. Because it's not about the throw itself, but how we catch it, how we respond. And with the right mindset, any throw can be a chance to strengthen our skills, to deepen our resilience, to enrich our life's journey. So whether you're navigating the stormy seas of life, immersing yourself in the present, or catching whatever life throws your way, Stoicism offers a roadmap to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. It's not about attaining external rewards, but about cultivating inner peace and strength. It's not about avoiding challenges, but about embracing them as opportunities for growth. Stoicism teaches us to let go of the things we can't control and to appreciate the things we can. So how do we apply these principles in our daily lives? Well, let's start by saying that Stoicism, first and foremost, is a philosophy of action. It's about making conscious choices, about how we respond to the events and circumstances around us. It's not about suppressing our emotions, but about understanding and managing them. Consider a situation where you're stuck in traffic. You're late for an appointment, and frustration is mounting. A Stoic approach would be to recognize that you can't control the traffic, but you can control how you react to it. Rather than allowing your emotions to escalate, you might choose to use the time to listen to an audiobook or a podcast, or simply to enjoy a moment of quiet reflection. This is where mindfulness comes in. Stoicism encourages us to be fully present, to pay attention to the here and now rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. It's about acknowledging our emotions without letting them control us. When we practice mindfulness, we're better equipped to respond to life's challenges with tranquility and resilience. Then there's acceptance. Stoicism teaches us to accept things as they are, not as we wish they were. This doesn't mean resigning ourselves to a life of passivity or indifference. Instead, it's about differentiating between what's within our control and what isn't, and focusing our energy where it can make a difference. So, if you're unhappy with your job, for example, rather than complaining about it, you might choose to seek out new opportunities, or to find ways to bring more joy and fulfillment into your current role. Gratitude is another key aspect of Stoicism. It's about appreciating what we have, rather than constantly striving for more. It's about finding contentment in simplicity, and recognizing that happiness doesn't come from external possessions or achievements, but from within. By cultivating a sense of gratitude, we can find joy in the everyday, and learn to value our experiences and relationships above material wealth. Of course, Stoicism isn't about denying our feelings or pretending that everything's perfect when it's not. It's about facing reality with honesty and courage, and choosing to respond with wisdom and compassion. It's about recognizing that we're part of a larger whole and that our actions and attitudes can have a profound impact on those around us. Stoicism also encourages us to embrace adversity as an opportunity for growth. Rather than seeing difficulties as obstacles, we can view them as challenges to be overcome, as stepping stones on our path to wisdom and enlightenment. So the next time you face a setback, instead of dwelling on the negative, consider what you can learn from the experience and how it can make you stronger and more resilient. Finally, Stoicism encourages us to live in accordance with nature, to recognize our place in the universe, and to respect the natural order of things. This doesn't mean rejecting technology or modern conveniences, but rather recognizing that we're part of a larger ecosystem and that our actions can have far-reaching consequences. So, how do we apply these principles in our daily lives? It's about making conscious choices, about responding to life's challenges with wisdom and compassion, about being fully present, accepting things as they are, cultivating a sense of gratitude, embracing adversity, and living in accordance with nature. By applying these principles, we can lead more peaceful and fulfilling lives. Life is full of challenges, but Stoicism provides us with tools to overcome them. Think about the last time you faced a problem. Did you feel overwhelmed, or did you see it as an opportunity to grow? The Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece and Rome would urge us to view our challenges as chances to strengthen our character and learn more about ourselves. Imagine you're faced with an unexpected setback at work. A project you've labored over for months is suddenly scrapped. Your initial reaction might be frustration or disappointment, but a Stoic would approach this differently. They would see this as an opportunity to demonstrate resilience, to adapt, and to grow. The project was not a waste, but a lesson, a chance to develop skills, to learn new methods, to understand what didn't work and why, or consider a personal setback, like the ending of a relationship. It's natural to feel heartbroken, to question what went wrong. But again, Stoicism offers another perspective. This is not just a loss, but an opportunity to learn more about your own needs and desires, to grow emotionally, and to become more resilient in the face of change. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our perception of them. If we can shift our mindset, we can transform our challenges into opportunities. But how do we do this? First, it's about acceptance. Accept that you will encounter obstacles and setbacks. They are an unavoidable part of life. Then remind yourself that you can't control everything. You can't prevent challenges from arising, but you can control how you respond. Next, find the lessons within the challenges. What can you learn from this situation? How can it help you grow? And finally, see the opportunity. Every challenge is a chance to become stronger, wiser, more resilient. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, remember the Stoic approach. Don't let the setback derail you. Instead, use it as a stepping stone towards growth and self-improvement. Remember, Every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. One of the most powerful tools in Stoicism is the power of perspective, a simple yet profound concept that can transform our experiences and reactions to the world around us. Imagine you're stuck in a traffic jam, late for an important meeting. Most of us would feel frustrated, perhaps even angry. But what if we shift our perspective? Instead of seeing this as a frustrating situation, we can view it as an opportunity to practice patience, to listen to a podcast or an audiobook, or simply to enjoy a few moments of solitude. Or consider a common scenario, receiving criticism. It's easy to feel defensive or upset, but again, a change in perspective can turn this negative situation into a positive one. View criticism not as a personal attack, but as a chance to learn and grow. The power of perspective extends even to life's most challenging situations. When faced with adversity, we can choose to see it as a setback or as a lesson. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The beauty of this perspective shift is that it's entirely within our control. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we interpret and respond to it. And that can make all the difference. In the grand scheme of things, our perspective shapes our reality. It influences our emotions, our actions, and ultimately our happiness. It's like looking through a different lens, one that highlights opportunities instead of obstacles, growth instead of stagnation, positivity instead of negativity. So, the next time you find yourself in a difficult situation, remember the power of perspective. Remember, you have the ability to choose how you view and respond to your circumstances. By changing our perspective, we can change our life. And that, dear listeners, is the transformative power of Stoicism. So, what does happiness look like to a Stoic? The Stoic philosophers of ancient Greece and Rome saw happiness differently than many of us do today. In our modern world, happiness is often equated with success, wealth, or pleasure. We're taught to chase after these things, to strive for more, and to measure our worth by what we possess or achieve. But to a Stoic, such pursuits are not the path to true happiness. Instead, they believed that happiness is a state of peace and contentment that comes from accepting life as it is, rather than constantly striving for more. Stoics viewed happiness as an internal state, unaffected by external circumstances. It's not about what we have, but how we respond to what happens to us. It's about finding tranquility in the midst of life's storms, maintaining our composure when things don't go our way, and staying true to our values, even when it's difficult. This doesn't mean that Stoics were passive or indifferent. On the contrary, they believed in living fully and passionately, in engaging deeply with the world around them. But they also understood that life is unpredictable and often beyond our control. The Stoic path to happiness, then, is about cultivating an inner strength and resilience, about learning to navigate the world with wisdom and equanimity. It's about accepting the things we cannot change and focusing our energy on the things we can. This is not an easy path. It requires discipline, patience, and courage. But the rewards are profound, a life of inner peace, of contentment, of true happiness. So, let's remember, when we're caught up in the hustle and bustle of our modern lives, when we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, when we're chasing after things that we think will make us happy, let's pause for a moment. Let's remind ourselves of the wisdom of the Stoics. True happiness, according to Stoicism, comes from within, not from what we possess or achieve. So, to summarize, Stoicism is a philosophy of life that can help us find true happiness. We've delved into the principles of Stoicism, a practical philosophy that has stood the test of time, originating from the ancient Greeks and Romans. At its core, Stoicism teaches us the art of mastering self-control, fortitude, and wisdom, an art that's as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. The Stoics believed in the power of perspective, in distinguishing between what we can control and what we can't. They taught that we should focus our energy on our own thoughts, actions, and reactions rather than on external events or the opinions of others. This, in essence, is the principle of the dichotomy of control. It's a powerful tool to find inner peace in our often chaotic world. In our daily lives, Stoicism can be a beacon, guiding us through the fog of worry, fear, and anger. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can learn to take a step back, to view our challenges from a different perspective. This shift can help us navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. Stoicism also teaches us to appreciate the moment, to live in the here and now. It reminds us that the past is unchangeable and the future is uncertain, but the present is within our grasp. This principle, often referred to as mindfulness, can help us enjoy our lives more fully. Overcoming challenges with Stoicism doesn't mean suppressing our emotions or desires. Instead, it encourages us to understand them, to manage them, and to see them for what they truly are: natural responses that we can choose to act upon or not. Stoicism isn't a quick fix or a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a journey, a path that we choose to walk, knowing it will lead us to a more serene, balanced state of mind. Stoicism isn't about denying our desires or emotions, but about understanding them, managing them, and ultimately being at peace with them. Are you ready to take on the Stoics challenge? The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. It's not just about understanding the philosophy, it's about living it. And the best way to understand its power is to immerse yourself in it, to truly experience it. So here is your challenge. For the next week, try living as a Stoic. Start with mindfulness. This is the cornerstone of Stoicism. It's about being fully present in the moment, not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. It's about experiencing life as it unfolds, not as we wish it to be. Try spending a few minutes each day in quiet contemplation, focusing on your breath, your sensations, your thoughts. Notice them, but don't judge them. Next, recognize what you can and cannot control. This is a fundamental tenet of Stoicism. We often waste so much energy worrying about things beyond our control. So, try this. When you find yourself getting stressed or anxious, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If it's not, let it go. If it is, then take action. Finally, reframe negative situations. Stoics believe that our perception of events, not the events themselves, determine our emotional responses. So, when something negative happens, instead of immediately reacting, pause. Ask yourself, how can I see this in a positive light? What can I learn from this? This simple shift in perspective can transform your experience, turning obstacles into opportunities. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. Don't beat yourself up if you struggle or forget. Be patient with yourself. This is a journey, not a destination. So, are you up for the challenge? Are you ready to experience the power of Stoicism in your life? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today. As we wrap up, remember that the goal of Stoicism isn't to achieve some external measure of success, but to find inner peace and contentment. It's about finding tranquility in the storm, harmony within chaos, and joy in the simple act of existing. We've journeyed together through the principles of Stoicism, a philosophy that encourages us to accept what we cannot control, to focus on what we can, and to cultivate a deep sense of inner calm. We dove into the practical applications of Stoicism in our daily lives, exploring how we can use it to overcome challenges, to shift our perspectives, and ultimately, to find a path to happiness that is rooted not in external circumstances, but in our own minds. We've discussed the importance of perspective, how shifting our view of the world can transform our experiences. We've learned that by focusing on our reactions, rather than the events themselves, we can maintain an even keel, no matter how turbulent the seas around us. We've also touched on the Stoics' challenge, the lifelong process of practicing and refining these principles. It's not about perfection, but progress. Every day, we have the opportunity to make choices that align with our Stoic values, to become more resilient, more content, and more at peace with ourselves and the world. This journey into Stoicism isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous exploration, a lifelong commitment to personal growth and understanding. So I encourage you to keep exploring, to keep questioning, to keep striving for that inner peace and contentment that Stoicism can offer. Share your experiences, your insights, your challenges, and your triumphs. Let your journey illuminate the path for others, and let their journeys inspire and motivate you. Thank you for watching this far. You truly are dedicated to your own growth. If you enjoyed what you heard, subscribe to the Pretty Girl Whispers YouTube channel and comment down below what your takeaways are. Until next time, stay blessed.